us an overview, please.
Well, I thought Cade really set the tone really early and took the momentum from the first inning and really had a solid first inning, played really good defense, had really competitive at-bats offensively, and just a team full of Davids. I mean, you look at what Reggie said it best in our meeting at the end. Godman coming in at the end. I mean, the guy hadn't thrown, facing Giant. He hadn't thrown in a while, come in and did what he did. And Sebastian, buying his time, getting a pinch hit here everywhere, and all of a sudden Brett Squires gets hit the other day and breaks his hand. He comes in. I think our kids were more excited for those two guys than they were winning the game. And that's the culture of our team. They care for each other so much, and I'm really proud of them. Hats off to Notre Dame. I mean, they had a really good club. Navigating through their lineup is tough. So it's here we are.
Okay. Questions for the student athletes first, and we'll start right up here. Yep.
Question for Cade.
Name and affiliation, remember.
Yep, hang on. Clear my throat here for a second. Question for Cade. John Hoover from All Sooners. The first pitch of the game, Blake goes into the dugout to catch a ball. You saw that happen last week as well at Virginia Tech. How much did that settle you down, if at all? And then the defense that began to be played behind him.
Yeah, I mean that was a spectacular play, and I feel like I'm honestly at this point starting to get spoiled by all these great catches. But no, that did settle me down and make me more comfortable. This defense behind me is incredible. Wally's always making plays. Tanner's making plays. KP, Blake tonight, PG. They all make great plays for me, and that makes it easy to challenge up the hitter. So.
Okay, right here. Oh, give it up. Aaron, right behind you.
Aaron Fitt, D1 Baseball. Cade, it looked like you had a lot of success with, well, I guess all your stuff tonight, but it looked like it was a slider and a curveball going. Just curious if you could kind of take us through the development of your arsenal as you've worked your way back from surgery this spring.
Yeah, that slider, I developed it Tuesday prior to the Big 12 championship game, and Ben Abram is the one that really helped me develop that, and he gave me the confidence to throw it in the game, and it's been working ever since.
Okay, over here.
Eddie Radosevich, CenterScoop.com. Tanner, just about your two-strike approach. It seems like you guys have been really hot and done really well swinging the bats with two strikes right now.
Yeah, that's kind of our motto. We want to battle for our team, especially with runners on and scoring position, stuff like that. A lot of us, I know I do choke up a little bit, just try to keep it short. And, at that point, that at bat's for your team, with two strikes. And, that's what we try to do, just try to put it in play. And I was able to do that today.
Wallace, you respond to?
Sure. Yeah, with two strikes, I obviously from both sides of the plate have a similar approach. The left side and right side choke up and just try and battle and fight for good pitches and just see one pitch at a time and then see where the ball goes and go from there.
Okay, we have a question from the Zoom. Please give your name and affiliation and ask your question, please.
Justin Martinez, and Wallace, you're one of the few freshmen on this team that's really had a big impact for you guys this year. I mean, just at what point did you kind of realize that this freshman class was going to be able to have the type of impact that you guys have had so far?
Yeah, I kind of knew whenever we got here in the fall and we all started doing the fall ball scrimmages and everything, and everyone was competing from day one, and everybody showed a lot of promise. And I just, from the very beginning, I knew that we had a special class in the making right now.
Hey, Jordan.
Jordan McAlpin at the Omaha World Herald. Wallace, that fifth inning there, walk me through that bunt and kind of what followed after.
Yeah, so, obviously I got the bunt sign and got the sack bunt with the runner on third, went push side to the first base side and executed it, went in the right spot, and then just started running. I saw the ball get past the first baseman, I just took off, and a couple guys came across the plate. So, yeah, that's pretty much it.
Okay, back to Zoom. Name and affiliation, please.
Hey guys, Jenny Carlson with the Oklahoman. Any and all players that would like to talk about this, one more game and you're playing in the championship series. Was there a point where you felt like this team did something, got to a point where that was a possibility, where you guys stand on, on the precipice of playing for a national championship?
Tanner, you start.
Yeah. No, I think we've always thought that, ever since we got started and got rolling in the Big 12 championship. I've said it before and I'll say it again is, our thing is we want to prove people wrong and make a statement. And, we were able to do that in regionals and supers and we want to do that here. And so yeah, I mean, to us, it's kind of an expectation to do well. And we're rolling right now and we're going to keep riding it.
Cade?
Yeah, to back up Tanner on that, I feel like, with our team, we're good at not looking ahead. We're good at staying in the moment and focusing on winning a pitch instead of, focusing on the bigger picture. We focus on the task at hand, and I think that's where a lot of our successes came from.
Boss?
Yeah, I would also agree with what those guys said. Winning the national championship's always been kind of the goal, and we've had that in mind from the very beginning, and it's not just a new idea. We've, even after like a loss in a midweek game in the front half of the season, we had talks with Skip and Reggie and everybody, and the idea behind it was, doesn't matter, we lost here, we're still going to go win the whole damn thing. So
Okay.
Josh Calloway, allsooners.com. For Tanner, I asked you during the Big 12 tournament about the hot stretch you were on at the time. Well, we're a month later, and it's still going. Just put in perspective what this stretch has been like, second half of the season for you. I mean, batting average climbing toward 400. Just obviously everything's working for it to play. Just can you put in perspective what is going so well right now?
I really like to keep things simple, I'll get in patterns like this where I can, go on a long stretch and do pretty well. But, I'm just trying to swing at good pitches and try not to get out of my zone. I think the two-strike approach has been really good for me, really key for me in the last couple weeks. I think that's helped me tremendously. But yeah, I'm just trying to hit good pitches and do my thing and be on time more than anything.
Okay, any more questions for the student athletes? Oh, yeah, we have one more. This will be the it.
Yeah, Parker Thune, 24/7 Sports. Well, I want to take you once again back to the squeeze play that turned into 2 runs and 3 bases for you. Do you view that type of play as emblematic of this team's approach as a whole, essentially just execute your job and wait for the opponent to blink?
yeah, I do. We strive with, we emphasize kind of just executing and doing your job, and then once you do that, everything will kind of fall into place, and I was able to do that today.
Okay, guys, thank you. A reminder that the locker rooms are closed to all media members at all times, but if you have any other special requests, just check with Eric Collier. So he's the guy. Guys, you are excused.
Thank you all.
Thank you.
Have fun. Thank you, man. Okay, questions for Skip, and we'll start here with Mike.
Mike LaPresti, NCAA.com. Skip, was tonight an example of where Oklahoma showed all phases of its game, of what got you here? And how important was it when you got to this stage that you remain yourselves, that you remain the team that...
Yeah, I mean, that's our identity, is to try to create as much chaos as we can on the offensive side. And our pitching's gotten a little bit better every time we went out. And I think our offense has really helped our pitching. It's kind of helped those guys just continue to attack, and our defense has gotten better. We talk about getting better weekly. What was the second question you asked?
How important it was that once you got here...
Yeah, I said it in the first press conference. I can remember Coach Greedo talking about the team that gets the most comfortable when they get here, they play good. And we've kind of played our 2 games real aggressive. I mean, it's like I said, I was real, we talked at the end, and Reggie said, really proud of those 2 kids that, I mean, Godman and what Sebastian Ordonez did was pretty incredible coming back. And I kept telling Gobbin he's got a really good arm. He's really talented. And I kept, hey, finish the race, man. Finish the race. Continue to grow. And pretty selfless to him to go out there and do what he did tonight.
You back here.
Carly Murray, OU Nightly. Coach, tell me about the impact that Reggie Willis has had on your offense this postseason.
Well, I think it's got him. It's gave him identity. That's what I think Reggie's done. He's detail oriented, and the biggest thing from my standpoint is what they do is they keep attacking, and no matter the fear of getting out at times or whatnot, I think they just keep attacking, and that's the mindset. Because if you take the failure out of the game, it's always there, and if you attack and be aggressive and not worry about the failure, then that's what's really about. You give yourself a chance to succeed by trying to fail.
Okay, over here. Eddie.
Eddie Radosevich, SoonerScoop.com. You talk about the aggression, and then obviously, what is it about the being able to flush the fourth inning and making the outs over at third? And you get but you live with that, though. Is that something that you can be happy with?
Yeah, I mean, that's the momentum of the game. We talk about Eddie a lot. I mean, it's. I thought it. I'm like, man, we just lost the momentum, put the momentum back on the other side. But you can take the momentum back with a guy like Cade Horton and what he did. I mean, that guy's got great electric stuff at times. He's gotten better every outing. Really proud of him. Continues to work our strength staff and our training staff to get him on the field, after the arm injury 15 months later. It just shows you what he's about. I mean, the guy works, and he wants to be great at what he does, and he'll continue to grow.
Okay, Jordan.
Jordan McAlpin with the Omaha World Herald. Skip, can you just talk about the quality of at-bats from your guys tonight?
Yeah, we talk about that a lot, is trying to separate balls from strikes and putting the ball in play and just trying to beat an infielder with 2 strikes. Just beat an infielder with 2 strikes, put the ball in play, make those guys play catch across the way, and they did a great job with it tonight. I mean, Notre Dame's a lot like us, and it's after watching film and studying through all that deal, you could see it, and we knew it going into it, and we made some plays and kept it going. Got some big two strike hits, 2 out hits. It was really fun to watch.
Okay, John.
Hey, Skip. John Hoover, All Sooners. We saw it last week. We saw it again this week. Guys attacking the baseball in the air, flipping, irregardless of safety. They're going into the dugout. They're going into the bullpen. When you've got athletes all over the field like that making plays, can you describe how that settles down your pitcher maybe and gives other guys confidence to do the same thing? Yeah,
they know that they're going to put whatever they had to do to make a play. What he did was incredible. I mean, it was it might not have settled Kay down, but it settled me down a little bit when he went over that deal and caught that ball, because it was an important out. Every out is important. I mean, you got 27 of them, and they're all important. And the faster you can get them, the better it is, believe me.
Okay, let's go to Zoom. Please name and affiliation, please, and ask your question.
Hey, Skip. Eric Bailey with the Tulsa World. I wanted just to ask you, how refreshing is it just to hear those players talk about not looking big picture, sticking one pitch at a time, and just that buy-in, that commitment it takes to have that attitude and mentality?
Yeah, Eric, I mean, it's really refreshing, because it's what we talk about an awful lot. And sometimes you sit as a coach, you think they listen or hear you. I don't know which one you're going to say, but they really, with them guys regurgitating what we talk about, just winning pitches and just taking it one pitch at a time is really good. I mean, really, they're just going to play a good game of catch and play against the baseball. It's really not the opponent. We got to attack what we do and really do the things that really make us better, like be aggressive on the bases, throw strike one, make plays, and execute our game plan.
Okay, Aaron.
Aaron Fitt, D1. Coach, you talked about Cade's growth, since he's come back. I'm curious if you could elaborate on that. Just what areas have you seen him maybe develop the most just over the past 6 weeks or so?
Well, Aaron, I think he's going to get better. I mean, I really don't know if he's ready yet, but I mean, his freshman fall was incredible. I mean, we're just throwing 2 innings a week, and he was also playing position, and it was. I said it to several people, one of the best freshman pitchers I've been around ever, And I can remember things that he did in that fall like it was yesterday. And then all of a sudden, you know, the adversity hits him, and he really started working. At first, it was tough on him, and we kept taking him. That was really good. It was early enough that we could take him on our trips, and then we started taking even our 30-man roster to conference games. That's what people don't understand. I mean, you limit. You have a 27-man roster, you have a 30-man roster, and you have a guy that gets hurt, and you limit those guys from traveling with you. You don't really get to see around them. You don't really get to be around them. I mean, this game is built around relationships. The only reason I'm sitting in front of you guys today as a head coach at the University of Oklahoma is totally about relationships. And to see what that guy did and what he's done with our training staff, going in there and doing the work every day with our physical therapists and Luke and Tim to get him where he's at today has been incredible.
Back here in the back.
Jack McGonigal, Mav Radio. With the position that you're in, how big is it to get an extra day of rest? You're not, you don't have 1 day of rest, but you have 2 days now of rest, and you're not playing till Wednesday.
It's kind of funny you say that. I can remember talking to Clayton Kershaw, and he'd tell me, "Hey, call me at 6 o'clock in the morning." I'm like, "What? What do you mean, call you at 6 o'clock in the morning?" He said the adrenaline that he pitched in a game, just one game, would keep him up. And he went to bed, like 7, 8 o'clock to settle him down. And that's what is important for those guys to get their rest is very important, because the adrenaline in that game right there, it'll keep them up whether they like it or not. And it's all the things that we talk on our wagon wheel of success is one's nutrition, one's sleep, one's water, one's lifting weights, and then getting them out of the hotel and doing a little exercises, whether it's taking BP or whatever we're going to do. Just try to get those guys grounded and together, because they're going. It's like if you have a box full of BBs and you just throw them this time of year, and all of a sudden they just go everywhere when you're here. And so you just got to bring them back together and really do a wellness check every time. And that's what Ryan Gaines, our operations guy, is the best in the business at. He brings all those BBs together, and all the support that he has from Greg Tipton to Kendall Mayer to our whole staff, putting those guys together and trying to keep those guys grounded day in and day out.
Okay, this will be our last question for Skip.
Alec Lewis, The Athletic. I'm curious, Kate talked about the slider development. How impressive is it to you that a guy could develop that type quality of pitch as in the time frame that he has?
Well, when you see the good ones, what's your name? Alec. When you see the good ones, I apologize. I'm 80% deaf, so I'm a D student too. So when you see a guy with that ability and those guys can pick them up really quick. The frustrating thing is they start trying too hard and try to make guys swing and miss. And you see the culture of our team. I mean, Ben's been down there. I taught him how to throw a slider, and when you see your teammates teaching each other and not really caring what the outcome of it is, but they're really teaching each other, that's when you really got a great culture. And sometimes it gets out of hand. I mean, they'll get mad at each other too, which is great. We're all brothers. We get mad at each other. So I think that's great. I think he with his ability, I think he could pick it up really fast. It's no different than watching a big leaguer, how quick they can pick stuff up. And I'm not saying that he's a big leaguer by no means, but he'll have that opportunity one day.
Okay, Skip, thank you.
Thank you, guys.
See you Wednesday. Take a day off.